See some unmasked faces. I'm used to seeing everybody with masks on in my clinic. So my name's Chrissy Fiori. I am a physical therapist. I graduated from Chatham University with my doctorate in 2012. I'm currently working for NovaCare Rehabilitation. I've been with them for about 3.5 years now. I'm right over on Perry Highway, like a stone's throw away from the library, actually. So I am going to share my screen with you all. So forgive me if it takes me a moment to figure it out because I am usually not the virtual presenter. I'm usually the in-person presenter. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Screen. Right. Okay. Go to from the beginning. All right. How about a thumbs up if everybody can see that? Can you guys see all that? Thumbs up. Good. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. So we're going to talk about getting motivated to move tonight. So a little outline is how to make your health a priority, how to set goals, how to keep yourself accountable, ways to make your activities variable, and some examples, how to schedule these activities, and also we're going to touch on mental health and the importance of that. And like Katie said, you guys can stop me at any point if you have questions as we go through, and there will be time at the end too. Okay. So how to prioritize your health. Never forget about the importance of regular checkups with your primary care physician, monitoring your blood pressure and regular blood work every 6 to 12 months. Those two things, very simple, can tell your docs a lot about what's going on inside your body. Regular physical activity. So we're probably all guilty of not getting enough of this, especially recently with the pandemic. So the American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week. So that breaks down to about 20 minutes a day if you're doing it 7 days a week. If you're not doing it 7 days a week, you'll have to tack on an extra few minutes each day if you're taking a couple days off. The American Heart Association also recommends moderate to high intensity muscle strengthening at least 2 days a week. And we'll talk a little bit more about what those types of activities are. Additionally, how to prioritize your health, getting enough sleep. If we are tired, we cannot give ourselves fully, physically or mentally, to the activities that we need to. So at a very minimum, you can see for all the adult age groups, it's recommending at least 7 hours, and that's from the Centers of Disease Control. So at least 7 hours of sleep per night for all of those age groups there. And then a balanced diet. So this is per day. Little revised food pyramid might look a little bit different than the one that you've seen in the past. So our fruits and veggies are on the bottom for the most servings per day. And then whole grains in the middle there, our dairy, proteins, and then very minimum amount of the fats and oils at the very top. And of course, they never want us to eat sugar, but I have a sweet tooth, so I can't help myself sometimes. Okay, so why do we need to prioritize our health? Why is it important? It lowers your risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, dementia, Alzheimer's, several types of cancer, and complications from during pregnancy. Helps us sleep better and improves, reduces insomnia and sleep apnea. Improves our cognition, memory, attention, and our ability to process faster, which also helps reduce falls. Less weight gain, obesity, and chronic related health conditions, better bone health. And when we have better bone health and balance, we have less risk of injury from falls. So if we fall, we have less risk of injury to fracture, say, a hip or a wrist, which are two very highly fractured areas from falls. Fewer symptoms of depression and anxiety. And then, of course, a better sense of quality of life and overall well-being. So we know why now, but how? How do we do this? If you're thinking right now, I'm sitting here and I do none of this, like, where do I start? How do I start? First, you want to set very small and attainable goals. So if you have a busy schedule, don't get overwhelmed by trying to do all of these things at one time, adding exercise, modifying your diet, making sure you get enough sleep, adding, some mental health goals in there too. Don't do everything at once. You're definitely going to get overwhelmed. Do one thing at a time. So for example, maybe this month you want to add 10 minutes of exercise a day, whether that's a walk or, some body weight strength, whatever that is. Do that for a month. Then next month, make sure you are setting a goal for sleep. And the next month, do a little bit at a time. So with activity, you don't have to go from 0 minutes of activity to 150 in a week, like we talked about a few slides ago. Start smaller. You can't jump into it with both feet. Sometimes you just got to dip your toe in the water first. So start with 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes every other day. Doing even that is better than nothing. And then with that, you can gradually increase your frequency, intensity, and duration. Sleep. Set a nightly bedtime. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning because of my work schedule. So I make sure I'm in bed by 10 or 10:30 every night to get my recommended 7-ish hours, if I'm lucky, of sleep a night. You can make a bedtime routine. Maybe that might be drinking some tea before you go to bed to relax yourself. Maybe sitting on a little hot pack to get your muscles to relax. Whatever that is, you can make a routine just like we had when we were kids. That kind of got our brains ready and our brains knew that it was time for bed and helps us shut down a little better. Maybe don't use your phone for your last hour, half an hour before you go to bed. Things like that. Diet. You can make a weekly meal plan. I know this is helpful for me and other and busy adults, on your day off, write down what you're going to eat for dinner, every week. Make enough on Monday that you can eat that for Monday and Tuesday to reduce that stress when you get home. Portion control. This is a big one, especially when we go out or when we used to be able to go out to eat. You get a huge portion. And, I know when I was little, I had to be part of the clean plate club. My grandmother made me clean off my plate. But now that's, not necessarily a good thing if it's a large portion. So if it's a large portion, maybe put half in a container for lunch tomorrow, or there's even little containers that you can get at the store that are different sizes for the different portions of food we should be eating, just like our food pyramid shows. So there will be a larger container for our fruits and veggies and a little bit of a smaller container for our grains, smaller for our protein, et cetera, just like that food pyramid showed. Try to avoid fad diets. They're not great for your heart, especially ones that encourage high protein and high fat and no carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. That's how our body uses energy. And we need those when we are active and exercising. So, and then generally speaking, when we come off of those fad diets, they're not things we can do forever. We just gain that weight right back. So a healthier way to do that, or to lose weight, or to just try to eat better, is to try to count your calories. So you're not limiting a food group necessarily. You're just counting your calories and trying to expend more than you take in. And that way you will lose weight. So something free and easy that you can use is an app on your phone called MyFitnessPal. It's free. It allows you to search for foods that you eat. It estimates their calories and helps you track that, and it makes you more mindful of everything you're putting in your mouth throughout the day. And it just, is an easy way to track that. And maybe something even easier than that, maybe something more simple than that, is just add a fruit or a vegetable to each one of your meals, so you're getting all those nutrients that you should be throughout the day. Any questions so far? I will pause for 1 second. If not, I will continue. No? Okay. So now we know how to start to set goals, and that might even mean like getting out a piece of paper and a notebook and writing them down. And this is the goal I want to achieve by the end of February, March, September, December, etc. Have some small short-term goals, but also some maybe longer term. So now that we know how to set goals, how do we hold ourselves accountable? Only we are responsible for our own success. So set a schedule. You have a daily work schedule or a daily volunteer schedule or whatever that is. Add these activity minutes into your daily schedule. If you usually get up at 7 o'clock every day, get up at 6:45, 15 minutes. Go for a walk in the morning, maybe when there's a little less snow on the ground, and just add it into your schedule. Seriously, like, do it now. If you don't do it now and you'll say, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, here we are, not started, right? We just got to add it in there now and not think about it. Another way that I've stayed accountable for myself in the past, I identified a workout buddy or a diet buddy, and we helped one another stay on task and stay accountable. If you can't do it in person because of, COVID restrictions, check in with them with a phone call or a text. Hey, just got my 10-minute walk in today. Hope you get yours in. Call me and let me know when you do. So that way you guys can, do that together, and you can go through that journey together. And you might even be able to make it fun, a little competition. Like, hey, I burned 300 calories in my workout today. How many did you burn? Something like that. And make it, a little competitive if that's what motivates you. And speaking of that motivation, identify why you want to do this. Is it for you? Is it because you want to live a healthier life? Is it because, you want it to be easier to go up and down the steps as you age? Or maybe it's for somebody else. Maybe it's so you can play with your kids or your grandkids without feeling winded. Maybe it's so you can get down on the floor with them and have the strength to get back up off the floor. And, there are tons of activity trackers out there. And even if it doesn't fit into your budget financially, there are free apps on your phone or computer. Every phone comes with a free step tracker. often already loaded onto your phone. You know, I have an iPhone and mine is I don't know if you can see, probably not, but it's an app and has a little heart on it that tracks your steps. It's free. It's on there already. You can get some of the big name watch trackers, Fitbit, Apple Watch, Garmin's, etc. There are the very basic models. You can probably get one of those for like $50 or less, up to, you know, a couple hundred if you want the really nice ones. Or just going back to like a simple pedometer. It's probably this big. You stick it on your belt or your shoelace, and that can track your steps too. And you can set goals that way. I want to achieve 10,000 steps a day. So in addition to all of that, it is important to make your activity variable. If you did the same thing every day, you'd get bored. I would too. And then your body would also get used to you doing that activity, and then it wouldn't really necessarily benefit you as much. And we touched on earlier the importance of aerobic activity in addition to strengthening activities, because our heart needs to be healthy aerobically, but our bones need to be healthy from the strengthening activities. Choose activities that you enjoy. You know, what did you like doing when you were younger? What do you like doing now that you haven't been able to do? Make sure it's fun. If it's fun, you will look forward to it. And remember, activity isn't an obligation. You don't have to do any of this, but it's a privilege to be able to do it. So do it now while you can, before it's too late and you're sitting there wishing, oh, I wish I would have started this 10 years ago. I might not be where I am today if I would have started this sooner. So start now. You know, it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be fun and it can be easy. Okay, so let's talk about some activity examples. So I'm throwing out these terms: aerobic tasks, strengthening tasks. What does that really mean? So aerobic tasks are just things that get our heart rate elevated, always within a safe range for us. Walking, hiking, and the difference between that can be whatever you want it to be. Walking on a treadmill, walking in your neighborhood, hiking generally means that it's on more uneven terrain, maybe with some grades and hills. Jogging, if that's on the list of your goals. Maybe you like to swim, and it doesn't even have to be laps. You can tread water. You can walk in the water if that feels good for your joints, to unweight your joints. You can do exercises in the water. There's so much that you can do. Biking, whether that's on a stationary bike or in your neighborhood or on a trail. Using the elliptical, that's a nice, if you have access to one or feel safe going to a gym, or it's a nice in between a walk and a jog. It's a little kinder to our joints. It's not quite as tough on our knees. Step aerobics. You don't even have to have a fancy step with risers like you see. You can do aerobic tasks, step aerobics, using your steps at home. You can use your bottom step and just step up and down, forward, to the side, things like that. If you enjoy dancing, you can definitely get your heart rate up while dancing. Find a dance partner, dance on your own at home, have fun. Jump rope. It's good old fashioned. If you're coordinated and it was something you liked to do when you were younger, it's definitely good to get the heart rate up. And boxing. I know you are all like, why would I ever do that? You don't have to necessarily go to a gym and box and like get hit. You can do those types of moves at home in your living room. You can punch, you can kick. But additionally, there are actually a lot of programs, and there are a few in the North Hills. One's called Fit for Boxing, that's geared more towards an aging population and even a neurological population for cardiovascular health, neurological health, balance, strength, all that good stuff. So speaking of strength, some tasks include free weights. And I'll pause here because you might not really know where to start with strengthening activities. And I will share my contact information at the end. And if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to send you a handout of pictures of exercises, of strengthening activities specific for you. I'd be happy to email those to you if you don't really know where to start. So I'm using free weights like the ones in the picture there on the slide, resistance bands. You can do body weight strengthening. It's an excellent way if you have no equipment. You can do a ton of things with no weights, no bands. Some examples would be sit to stands from a chair that resembles a squat, step ups, like I said, at the bottom of your steps. You could do leg raises, standing, sitting, laying down, tons of options just with body weight strengthening. Some other good strengthening programs include yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi, and that's really great for your balance as well. So on days that you are resting from your scheduled exercise, you want to still get up and move. You still don't want to be a couch potato all day. You want to do some active rest activities. They can be sports related. If you used to like to play tennis or still do, just, it's cold, but there are some indoor courts that you can go to. Take a leisurely walk, a leisurely swim, bike ride, go outside or inside, play with your dog or your kids or your grandkids. Maybe do some light stretching on the days that you're taking a break from your activities, or even just get up and do things around the house. Can get your heart rate up, just get your body moving. Just make sure you're moving every day. Some other sports related activities you might want to do on your rest days. Golfing, it's a nice low impact activity. Bowling, we talked about tennis, badminton. Just go outside and play catch. Baseball, softball, football, shoot a basketball around if you have a hoop outside, kick a soccer ball if you like that. That's also awesome for balance. And the last two are a little bit more appropriate for our weather right now, skiing and skating. Okay, so this is a little example about how you might want to schedule your activities. Like I said, you're going to put it in your calendar, hopefully tonight. So maybe Monday's your day. You go out after work and take a 30-minute walk with your dog, your neighbor, or yourself. Put in some headphones, or if you like to just listen to nature, take a walk around the neighborhood. That's your Monday night. That's your routine. Just once it becomes a habit, once it becomes part of your routine, you will crave that. You will want to do that. You will look forward to doing that when you get home. Maybe Tuesday is your day that you do weights, whether that's body weight, maybe some light dumbbells you have at the house. You can go pick up a pair of 3-pound dumbbells from the dollar store. Seriously, Walmart, somewhere like it, they're cheap. Maybe Wednesday is the day you get outside and go for a bike ride, or the local pool or local gym, go for a swim, or maybe you have a pool if you're lucky. Maybe Thursday you're going to do shortened cardio, maybe 10-15 minutes, and maybe do a few resistance bands things. Maybe on the first week you do arms, and the second week you do some legs. Fridays, maybe you want to try the elliptical or step aerobics for 5-10 minutes. And I should say, you don't have to do the 20 minutes all in at one time. Evidence shows that 10-minute bouts of activity is beneficial, just 10 minutes. Just adding 10 minutes on to, your day for your health is so important. Saturday, maybe you have a little bit more time to take a class. You don't have to go out to a gym to take a yoga class anymore. You can type it into YouTube. You can download a free app and you can do a 20-minute yoga class, 10 minutes. Pilates, body weight strengthening on Saturdays, maybe some calisthenics, something to move, stretch, and strengthen. Those are all good, really good full body tasks. And then maybe Sunday is your active rest day. Maybe you want to sleep in a little bit. Maybe that's the day you go golfing with your dad, or you go to the bowling alley with your spouse. That's active rest. And please, in addition, make sure you're warming up and cooling down, so that your heart has some time to get ready for that little bit of a higher intensity exercise. So, generally for my warm-ups, maybe I'm just doing some moving stretches, or just a 5-minute walk. And then same with the cool down, to get your heart rate to come down back to its resting level. So that reduces our risk, of any adverse events. Okay. So we talked a lot about our physical health and activity and sleep and what we put into our bodies to nourish our bodies. But I think what goes to the wayside a lot of the time is how important our mental health is. It's been especially noticeable, I'm sure more noticeable to everybody over this last year with the coronavirus. So it's so important to remember how important our mental health is, and that it's equally as important as our physical health. If our brain and mind is not healthy, our bodies will not be, and vice versa. If our bodies are not healthy, our minds will not be either. So some ways that we can keep our minds healthy and ready for change, because the world we live in is ever changing. Try some meditation. This is scary for a lot of people. It's daunting for a lot of people. Try it for 5 minutes. Start with 1 minute. And what does meditation mean? We've heard of it, but we don't really know what it is or how to do it. Just sit in a quiet place where you can't be disturbed, in a comfortable position, and just try to focus on your breathing. And if your mind tends to wander, maybe just repeat to yourself, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, or count to 10 and then start over, back at 1. Set a timer for 1 minute the first day you do it, then 2 minutes. You can also do guided meditation. This is what I choose to do, guided meditation. And I know I've mentioned free apps like so many times, but there's so many resources out there for us, and you don't have to spend a dime. There are some that do cost money, like the Calm app, but a lot of these apps also offer free trials. I've used Calm before, Headspace, or you can just search for a free guided meditation or yoga on YouTube, that would be of no cost to you. Maybe meditation's not your thing. Pick up a journal or find a blank piece of paper or jot a few things down in your phone, and practice daily reflecting on things that you're grateful for. Maybe it's one thing a day. I'm grateful that I got to come home early tonight from work and do this presentation from my spare bedroom instead of still being at the office. So that's one thing that I'm grateful for today, and being able to present all this awesome information to you guys. Identify some things that make you happy and try to do one every day. If you like to read and you don't really get around to it too often, set 10 minutes aside, read for a couple minutes before bed. Take a bubble bath. Do one thing that is for you every day. Keep in touch with your friends and your family. I know that over the last year, a lot of us have felt isolated or lonely or, some sort of despair. And that, we've all probably reached or been very close to our breaking points at some point over the last year, myself included. I think we all have been. So make sure you're keeping in touch with people that are important to you. Give them a call if you can't see them. Shoot them a text. Say, hey, I've been thinking about you. Hope you've been having a good week. And I'm sure something positive will come out of that. If you miss seeing people's faces, FaceTime them or Zoom with them. Or, once it gets a little warmer, meet with them socially distanced in a park. Being outside will do you good. Fresh air, sun, and just seeing another human, is just makes you feel really good. I know one thing that I've personally tried to do, over the last few months is just continue to practice staying positive. And if something's bothersome to me, I don't want to continue to perpetuate that negativity. Just, learning how to let things go. And stay hopeful. The vaccine is here. There are 2, there's more on the way, and hopefully more of us will be getting it soon. The efforts have ramped up over the last few weeks, and that is so encouraging and makes me so happy as a healthcare provider to see that, and hopefully that continues. And of course, stay vigilant with masking and hand washing and social distancing to keep you and everybody else safe. Some things to finish and to keep you inspired and to get you writing down your activities on your schedule and write down your goals. Start with your goals tonight. If you don't challenge yourself, if it's not challenging, then you'll never change. You're not going to change if you're not challenged. So remember, if it's hard, we can do hard things. And that's how we change for the better. If you don't want to get better, you're not going to. If you go into something thinking, I'm never going to stick with this is never going to work, you're right. It won't. You have to know that it will. You have to have that motivation and positivity and know that you will get better. You can get better at any time, any day, any point in your life, any age. You can get better. And you are the only person that can take charge of your own life. You can't wait around for somebody else to do it for you. So I really hope that this talk has been a little bit of a motivation for you to start making some changes. Just stay moving, stay active, stay healthy. And I'm happy to take any questions that anybody has for me at this time.